Well, what's going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? It's the 1122 Wingnut Radio out here for Anarchy Television. And I don't know if this is going to interest any of you guys out there, but I thought it was slightly interesting. I'm sorry about the noise. I'm right next to a road. But this is an old cemetery. What I did find interesting, this is what I thought was interesting, is that there is a lot of children that are buried in here. A lot of them are under the age of 10. Let me see if I can go through them, a bunch of them that I was looking at. This is a while back ago since I've been out here, so I really don't know where all of them is anymore, but there's quite a few kids all around the same time, I think, too. Let's see here. This one right here is 1926 to 1927. 1 year old. Gosh, I can't read that one all that much. I remember I was walking around. This years ago. I used to walk around a lot of these cemeteries and stuff, and I remember walking through here. (1882 to 1900). Here's one is 1900 to 1905. Here's a 1905 to 1919, 1907 to 1909. A newborn, 1904 to 1904. Let's see here. I don't know when they were born. And then let's see if there's any over here. (1862 to 1900). Yeah, well, that wasn't a kid, but still young. Gosh, I can't read. I can't read any dates on that one. Uh, 1883 to 1914. (1863 to 1917). (1931 to 1936). 1934 to 36, 1927 to 36. It seems like this whole freaking family died on the same year. The same day, actually, January 18th, 1936. There's a 1929 to 36, 1906 to 36. So he was about, a little less than, he was 30 years old. This one's another 30-year-old, 1908 to 36. It's like that whole family right there died on the same day. 1892 to 48. 1935 to 1935. A newborn baby died the same day. A lot of these headstones, the older ones, man, they're just like handmade headstones. Some of them don't even have anything written on them. Some of them look like they're just hand chiseled in. 1895 to 1900. 5 years old. 1885 to 1904. 1892 to 1899. I'm not keeping count on how many kids I find out here, but I think majority of the kids that are buried out here are under the age of 10. For some reason, around the same kind of years, if I remember correctly. And that's what struck me was kind of interesting, is because there was around 1900, 1910 or something like that. Around that time, a lot of kids died. And I always thought that was interesting for some reason. I don't know what was going on at that time. That might have been around the time of the Civil War. I'm not sure. We had a lot of Civil War battles that were out in this area. So 1848 to 1886. About 20-year-old, something like that. (1972, 1973). That 1-year-old right there. The oldest born one out here was like in the 1700s, but most of these people all born in around the latter half, the latter half of 1800s. 1899 to 1970, no, 1977, or no, 1917. Sorry, 1899 to 1917. 1825 to 1828, 1885. Florida Cavalry. See, that's what I want to say. It's like around the time of the Civil War, there was a lot of kids that died, and a lot of them are buried right in here, which is, you know, there was a lot of stuff going on at that time, and a lot of kids didn't make it for one reason or another. Here's I think I saw that one already. It's like 1927 to 1927. That's an infant. Here's a 1928 to 1929. (1925 to 1945), World War II, (1890 to 1916), (1907 to 1928), Oh no, never mind. That's an older guy. That's an older fellow. So there's, some young boys in their 20s that died around the Civil War, or around the World War II, around that time or whatever. Let's see here. 1931 to 1950, so 1922 to 1937, 1913 to 1918, 1912 to 1918, 1912 to 1916, 1903 to 1912, 1906 to 1916, 1915 to 1924, 1914 to 1927, 1914 to 1921, 1941 to 1941, died the same day. And like I said, I found this kind of interesting. I don't know if any of you all out there find it interesting or not, but I do for some reason. I like history. When I can find history, I like to know more about the time and the area where people lived and they died, you learn a lot about life around death. So I'm pretty comfortable around cemeteries. Here's another newborn, born 1936, died 1936. '54, newborn. Died it was March 13th, 1954, March 15th, 1954. So died a couple days after being born. And and that's another thing too. Like I've been to a lot of different cemeteries, and it's unusual. I don't really see a lot of kids for some reason, in a lot of these cemeteries that I've been at, and for some reason this one's got a large number of children in it, which is to me interesting, because I don't know, just one of them things. It makes me wonder what was going on at that time, and and then, like I said, the geographic location. There's probably a number of reasons why a lot of these kids didn't make it, but and I'm only speculating on why. That's why I want to, interested in like the history part of it, what was going on at that time, what possibly could have been the cause of a lot of these kids dying around the same time period. And but it's one of them things. And like I said, I always found it interesting, and I thought I'd stop and make a short video of it. I know this is getting 8. No, that was kind of older. I'm sorry. 1895 to 1919. October 20th, 1926, October 30th, 1926. So 10 days old. There's no born date on that one, so I don't really know when. It was an infant. It says infant of Victor Ellis. So I'm assuming, it's like a brand newborn right there. Died the same day it was born. (1896 to 1918). 1894 to 1909, 1841 to 1875. Yeah, that's kind of an older one. It's not a child. 1837 to 1893. That's kind of an older one. 1914 to 1917, 1912 to 1916. Newborn, died 1905. Born and died 1905. Oh my gosh, I can't read that one. What does that one say? Is it, was it, 1896 to 1917. (1907 to 1924). Younger than 20 years old, around 20 years old, somewhere around there. Here's probably another infant right here. Yeah, 1919 to 1920. Born October 28th. Died and born and died as an infant, 1932. I was an infant right there. And I'm probably going to have to go back and watch the video again and take a count on how many children I come across. And I don't know if any of y'all are watching the video. Maybe you guys can make a count. Here's another infant. Or no, that's not an infant. My bad. Maybe you guys can keep count for me and put a number in the chat on how many kids, let's say under 10 years old, how many kids are out here under 10. And but it's just I haven't been keeping count. (1930 to 1979). So 30. He's an older man. Or it could have been a woman. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name. Quite a few people in here that were in World War II also. A lot of military stuff. So that's pretty cool. I mean, that urn right there. My dad, when he got buried, he got cremated. So that's what we're going to end up doing with my dad. Putting him in an urn. And we've got a plot already for him. Or, we already got the headstone out there. We just haven't put him out there yet. Here's another newborn. 1 day old, December 29, 1988. Died December 30th, 1988. So far, I think I've counted like 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 newborns, within a day old or a couple of days old, or died the same day they were born. I mean, I'm just kind of rough estimating on what I can remember so far. It's been about, 4 or 5, oh no, about 3, 4 newborns. A lot of people already got plots already out here and stuff, and just, I remember somebody was telling me, telling me, I was like, have you ever noticed that they're not building new cemeteries? Well, the only reason why I'm thinking that is because, for one, it's a lot cheaper to get cremated. Takes up a lot less room. But I don't know why. I actually thought about it. If I ever had the money, that's what I'd do, is I'd buy me a piece of property and turn it into a cemetery. For one, people are dying to get in there. People are dying to get a plot of that land. So, I mean, one of them things. 1935 to 1939. 1935 to 96. 1937 to 74. I mean, that's a little older. That's not a kid. And they're still burying people in this cemetery. I mean, there's a lot of people already got plots set aside for them. That's really crazy. I know somebody on the internet, on YouTube, with the nickname Snook. I didn't realize that was there. 1934 to 46. See, these guys don't even have markers on them. This one is pretty, it's like a crypt almost, because you got these these little handles for the lid to sit on top of, for the lid to be lowered down on top. These are like little crypts. I mean, there's a few of them out here. It's like, I mean, they're so old. I mean, they're made of like some of that coral rock, almost, it looks like. And they don't even have anything written on them. 1910 to 1910, from April to July. About a month old. April, May, June, July. 3 months old. Uh, 1908 to 1917. 1914 to 1915. I think that was all of them. I think I kind of went through everybody. These evidently have got people visiting them or whatever. They've got people putting stuff all over it. Here's another, looks like a child. January 1949. Oh no, he was an older fella. He just had a really small gravesite. You see how they got the little picture right here like that? I want to do that for my dad. I want to do something like that. So, you know, you get more than just a name and a date. You actually got a picture of them, and you can actually, you know more about the person other than just a name and a date. And this one, they got a flag. See, I've got a flag like this for my dad that I've been holding on to, and I don't know, I might do that. I might hang that out here by his here's one, is 1972 to 1973. But I might do something like this. I don't know, like this or like this for my dad. You know, because I mean, I just, you know, you a little bit more of a personal thing in a way. You know, it's like anybody that comes to his gravestone, you know, they know a little bit more about that person other than just a name and a date. You know, and that's what gets me about. Here's 1934 to 1937. I don't know if I showed you that one or not. But you get to know a little bit more about that person. Here's another one. Is 1 day old, 1973 to 1973. 1 day old. Here's a newborn, 1969. Born and died. And I like that. I like that, you know, where you can see a photo or a picture of the person that is laid to rest there. And was it 1888 to 1909? 1899 to 1917. There's a kind of a young Marine, 1920 to 1944. Died in Guam. See, I like that too. My dad was a Marine, and that's a pretty nice stone right there. And that's another thing too I've been thinking about. It's like, okay, what picture do I want? You know, it's like my dad was a father. He was a Marine. You know, he was just another guy. you know, I wasn't sure if I wanted to. I was kind of looking through some old photos and stuff, trying to decide on which photo I wanted to use. See, these don't, they barely got something written on them. They're so old, and they were hand carved. I can't even read any of the inscriptions on it anymore, because I can't remember. This is like it's like old coral rock instead of marble. And a lot of these don't even have anything. 1870 to 1901. So this, you know, kind of an older fellow, you know, late 20s or so. 70s, what is it, 70, 80, 90. About a little over 20 years old, something like that. But, I'm not sure what I'm going to use, but like I said, I do have one of those flags from when we had the family get together for the service or whatever, and it's got his picture on it. I might do that. I might hang that out there, where his headstone is, just so you know. Because what I was going to do. And actually what they did on that one over there, they used a piece of rock and they etched it on there, which was kind of nice, and it's going to last a long time. But also what I was thinking is maybe taking an old photo, or actually a few old photos, and preserving them in kind of like acrylic or something like that, you know, that UV resistant acrylic where it won't like get all hazy and stuff like that. And have like a couple of them, you know, 2 or 3 pictures, and you know, when people come visit the grave, they can sit there and flip through a couple of pictures and see them. But anyway, you know, it's interesting too that we take so much space up on this planet as we're alive, and then look at how much space we take up as we're dead too. But, you know, whatever. But it's also something, you know, where people can always come back. And I'm the type of guy, it's like, you know, especially when I go visit, you know, family members and stuff like that. I always, it's kind of like a little thing that I do. You know, I either have kind of like a stone or something like that I bring with me, or I find me a rock or something like that, and I'll put it on top of the headstone, you know, basically kind of saying I was here and I came and visited. But anyway, like I said, this is just something I wanted to kind of make a little video of because I thought it was interesting, and maybe you guys might find it interesting. So anyway, this is the double 1, double 2 Wingnut Radio, and I'm back out.